Today's episode of the Live, Q, or Die podcast brought to you by Tactical Distributors. Unpossible 15 gets you 15% off all this great stuff. A reversible coat, sweet ass t-shirt, and they just sent me these summer shorts. Oh my God. Can we get this out of here? We can. So, these shorts, they're breathable. The boys, they're cool as hell. They're short. They're not too short. They're not too long. They're not Daisy Dukes. They're not Dirty Dukes. They're just right. So, Unpossible 15 gets you 15% off flip-flops, bags, shirts, pants, everything you need. They got those panties. What are those? The tactical brief things. They're so comfortable, and your junk comes right out when you need to take a pee. Holla. I think this is dangerous. Doing a podcast on a Friday.
It's Thursday.
Oh, is it? God dang it.
Really? Was that
yeah,
a joke?
now I want to go back to bed. No, I thought it was Friday. I was so excited because, I was Friday afternoon having a drink with my attorneys on one of them finally got some adult outside furniture.
Oh, yeah.
So I was in so these people that I give hundreds of thousands of dollars to invited me for, $12 worth of tequila, and I couldn't be happier about it.
What is adult outside furniture?
That's what I asked.
Furniture that's outside, and when you own it, you're an adult.
Oh, I thought it was something like wild, crazy.
I think she and her husband only had basic like lawn folding chairs and stuff, and so now they got one of the Front Gate or one of those companies some arrangement. She was so proud she even texted me a picture of it, or maybe she put it in our group chat with the other asshole attorneys.
Is this Christine?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and call her out. She'll love that.
Proud of you. Proud of you. Well, I don't know. I lose track. She's cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's Thursday. Well, fuck me.
Here we go.
All right. Well, it's still going to be a good time. I'm not holding it against anyone for ruining my day. God, I was like, man, it's so weird doing a podcast on a Friday. We've never done one on a Friday before. Maybe it's just the weather getting nice here.
Yeah.
It feels like the weekend all the time.
It's more consistent now, too. Where like a week or 2 weeks ago, it'd be 70 one day, and then it'd be cold and raining the next day.
And your shirt probably threw me off. That's a Friday shirt if I've ever seen one.
Raptors are shipping?
Yeah, they sure are.
That's cool.
Thank Christ.
A Raptor 9.
Have you shot one?
Raptor 9. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How is it?
Awesome.
Have you not shot one?
Yeah, I have.
I liked it.
But, I haven't shot like a new one. I shot when they were like prototypes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it hasn't changed that much.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot, I only have like right now at the property I have here, so we're building a range, but I have only like 25, 50, 100 meter there, so.
50, 100 meters?
Yeah, 50, 100. So, yeah, probably will shoot some pistols here pretty soon.
You don't even feel it on the end of the gun. Like, I haven't shot it on like a PCC. Oh, no. I didn't. That was
PCC.
That Flux is a pistol. So
It's a pistol.
I haven't shot it on like a Space Invader or anything, but on a pistol you don't even feel it.
The Flux is cool. Like, that thing's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
That isn't. You need to bring that to Wyoming.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want I get Ivanka to shoot it. I think when we're out there, we should see. Maybe you know what I'm going to do out there. So I think I'm going to give cash prizes for like the longest shot, confirmed shot on steel.
Nice.
So we should try that. The Erector 9, we should have a 300 meter still silhouette target challenge. Like somebody gets $100 or something.
Yeah.
I bet it's going to be Nick.
That'd be fun.
Do that with some 22.
Definitely do it with 22. What do you mean? I'm going to win every one of them. I'm a fucking winner, Jay.
That's true.
Not only a unit specimen,
yeah.
I'm also a winner.
Other than you, it'll be Nick, I think.
Really?
I just got this weird feeling. It's going to be Nick.
All right.
I just pulled that out of the air.
Your weird feeling.
Yeah.
I bet it's gonna be
Okay,
Tommy.
there, Captain J.
Oh, yeah, it might be Tommy.
Tom,
Yeah.
you gonna win it?
He's got a lot of
I
long
hope he
range
does.
experience.
It would make me very happy if Tommy won one and embarrassed all the engineers.
Have you ever shot past 100?
Have you ever shot a gun?
He shot a gun. Yes. All right. It's the same thing. From 100 to 1,000, it's all the same thing.
But everybody knows
Just aim a
here,
little high.
including Adam, everybody knows here that I am just a horrible shot. I'm just like I'm like a bad shot. It's embarrassing.
You
almost.
just don't do it enough.
Yeah, pistol especially. You got to practice.
You're better than the first time.
You're always better than the last time you went. Every time I've been with you.
All right, so we're gonna go to Wyoming.
Yep.
We're gonna shoot a bunch of stuff. Hopefully, get some marketing stuff. Is the drone fixed there, Crash?
I haven't touched it. I don't know.
Have we flown and recorded with the drone since the incident?
It's at the repair place right now. Should be back early next week.
We had to ship it out. We couldn't even fix it in house.
To DJI.
Well, we fixed the mechanical stuff, but the program with the gimbal inside got a little...
Oh,
I don't know anything about programs.
so what's this costing us?
It's actually pretty cheap, a couple $100.
I think it's like
Yeah.
$200.
And
all
that's
things
like-
considered.
Not
and that's
being
for them
able
to
to
run-
use the drone.
That's for them to like
Yeah,
run through
sure.
the whole thing, I guess, and ship it back. I think the actual parts themselves were
Hmm.
$30, $40. I don't know.
and no drone for 2 months.
Hmm.
Oh, there's that part, yeah.
Yeah. So
But I mean, I don't know. I'll never touch that thing again, so I don't really know.
Oh, really? You won't?
No.
You won't,
No.
because if you want to, I'm going to need a security deposit.
Yeah, no, I'm done
And
with the
you
drone.
go ahead and front the money for a new drone.
No, I'm done with the drone for sure.
You're damn right you're done with the drone. All
I don't
right.
want that responsibility.
I mean, I've never crashed a drone. Ever.
When's the last time you flew a
I've
drone?
never flown a drone. Because I know I would crash it.
I just
And that shit's valuable.
I
I don't
thought
need
I
to
had
fuck
it.
with Thomas's living.
It's pretty
No, you're right.
intuitive.
yeah. Except for when you go up and there's things above you.
Unless it's in your blood, apparently.
You gotta
Yeah,
know
I
your,
thought
know
I
your
had it.
surroundings.
Yeah.
You know, basic things.
Exactly.
Look up before you fly up.
I thought I had it, didn't have it, but at least I went for it.
You did. You gave it a shot.
It is hard for me to be upset with that because I really preach it's okay for us to fail.
What are you doing in Wyoming?
Shooting some 8.6 Blackout,
What's that?
Kevin.
Well, it's what the kids like to call the future.
Ooh.
So once upon a time, these very handsome fellas named Kevin and Ethan, they did a little known cartridge called 300 Blackout. So as soon as we did that, we were thinking about the big guns, 308. So that led us to 338 Federal. And we built several guns in that and tested it. But a couple things happened. It wasn't really suitable for subsonic. Although, so 338 Federal is a 308 Winchester case with the neck blown out to 338 and a bullet in it. They didn't shorten the case or anything. The problem with that is you can't get big, long subsonic bullets in it and it fit in a short action or into a short action magazine. It's the same thing that happened with
260.
260. Yeah, so they were using like 90 to 120 grain bullets. So, but longer, better BC bullets coming available. You can't load them correctly and it fit in the magazine. So 6.5 Creedmoor. A lot of things have happened. They shortened the case, changed the shoulder angle, more efficient, and powders have the technology in powders and the innovation in that has increased as well. So there's a lot of things that a lot of people think in firearms. And I think it's easy to be complacent because it's still the metallic cartridge and it's so old and we really should do something different. But it's such a large project to go to some caseless or polymer case telescope ammo. So we're sticking with brass. So how can we gain efficiencies? And everybody always thinks, oh, it's going to be like you do something that's 50% better. It's hard. Like we're kind of pigeonholed into a metallic cartridge, this brass case. So gaining a couple percent when you do something is actually huge. And over time, you do that, over, 20 years. If you can do that several times, you've made a big difference in performance. So anyway, we wanted to do it for 8.6. We wanted to do 8.6 or something like it, 338 Federal. We wanted to do it for 308 gas guns. I was fired from Remington, so that went away. And 338 Federal wasn't the thing. We needed to develop something. So 8.6, here we are, years later. So the good thing about it is rather than it happening in 2010, we've had the benefit of 10 more years of experience, of us being at war, and what that means is ammo companies, just like optics companies and everybody else, have been investing in technology, and things have gotten better. So we have better powders, better understanding, 10 years more of R&D. So why, look at this, easy for everyone.
Damn.
Like that.
Why 8.6? Well, because 338 Federal wasn't the thing. The great thing about it, so it's a bigger, heavier gun. But, companies like POF have done great things with gas guns. Their Revolution series, or whatever they call it, is like the size of an AR. The guns are 6 pounds, but they're 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor. So we have, the short action guns, the bigger guns than an AR magazine, that are lightweight and usable. So with 8.6, it's 300 Blackout times 2. That's a good way to look at it. If you're willing to shoot a deer at the Barnes 110, which is a terrific bullet, and 300 Blackout was designed for short barrels. If you're willing to shoot a deer or an animal at 200 yards with that, it's 400 yards with 8.6. If you're willing to shoot one at 300 yards and you've had success, it's 600 yards for 8.6. And it's the same with super and sub. Like for me, I hunt with subsonic 300 Blackout in a couple of places. With short barrel guns, which is nice because here in New Hampshire, you hunt at them and it's like you can't get a shot over 100 yards. Like, why do you need a 24-inch barrel? Why do you need a 16-inch barrel? Mm-hmm. So hunting with the Honey Badger, the Mini Fix with an 8-inch barrel, it makes sense. So I'll hunt with subsonic 300 Blackout to 100, maybe stretch it to 150 depending, but usually 100. So I can get double that with 8.6. So there's that. So all the benefits of 8.6, I'm gonna run through them all here. 300 grain plus subs that are quiet, as quiet as a 22. So with a full-size silencer, something like the Thunder Chicken, it's as quiet as a 22 with a 300 grain projectile. So putting that energy on target. And I remember the first tits.
But also you
They're
can't
nice.
shoot that through a Thunder Chicken. Right?
You cannot shoot it through a Thunder Chicken. Yeah. So we have a series of silencers coming out for it. So we're going to do two, just like we have for 30 cal and the titanium silencers, we have the Trash Panda, which is a short one, which I like for hunting or competition or things like that. And then we have the Thunder Chicken, which is a bigger, incredibly quiet, full-size silencer, which is still lightweight and usable. But the added length when it comes to hunting, to me, whether you're in a blind or you're doing something inside of, from a vehicle, having to get in and out, the shorter you can go, the better. Which we talked about it in the last podcast about Africa and stuff. So we're doing a line of steel silencers because 8.6, like 300 Blackout wasn't developed for the commercial market, but it's a big commercial success. It was developed for the military, which I've talked about, which Adam said when he was emailing several times, that he's heard it. So it's the same thing with 8.6. So that started as a military program. But commercially, like we know 300 Blackout's been successful, so 8.6 is going to be successful. And there's lots of reasons. But we're able to go twice as far. It's as quiet as a 22 with subsonic. With supersonic, it's incredibly quiet. It's a low-pressure cartridge. And it's not super high velocity. So the supersonic, we're designing everything like 300 Blackout, we designed everything around a 9-inch barrel because that's what the Navy wanted. And so like the Barnes 110, you have this giant black tip. And that's huge because this is a huge hollow point solid copper bullet. And it's designed to expand at low velocity. So when we talk about doing like, it's a 30 caliber bullet just like 308. So if you want to do a 12.5-inch 308, this is a great bullet to load the Barnes 110 for 300 Blackout because it's designed to expand at lower velocities. So with 8.6, we're using a 12.5-inch barrel to do all of the development. So the velocity out of a 12.5-inch barrel is around 2,400 feet a second, which is very respectable, and that's with a 150 to 160 grain bullet. The Barnes 210, which I've been using for hunting, is a bigger but supersonic cartridge, and out of that barrel length is 2,000 feet a second. And I'm going to try to not get like too in the weeds because then it gets boring. But it's super quiet. Like even in supersonic, it's incredibly quiet. It's way quieter than 223 or 6.5 Creedmoor or 308 with a silencer. Even with supersonic, with subsonic, it's nothing. Like it's ridiculous. The bullet impact too. It's interesting, and we'll post. Thomas will do some recording. We'll post some videos from Wyoming shooting 300 Blackout on steel. And that's so much louder when you shoot steel than 5.56. And 5.56 is way more than 9mm, and that's way more than a 22 long rifle. Well, when we go to 8.6, it's like 3 times the perceived impact is 300 Blackout on steel. So it's incredible. So I'm excited about that. So just like 300 Blackout, barrel swap only for 8.6. All right. And so it's not the only one available in that, but there's when you get in the weeds for engineering, when we think of a military cartridge, this isn't just a wildcat where it needs to work in your bolt gun or your single shot. And if you modify some magazines, it can work in a gas gun most of the time, and you have limited magazine capacity. 8.6, we really went the route of like 6.5 Creedmoor, where it became popular over 260 because they shortened the case, changed the shoulder angle, so from like 20 degrees to 30 degrees, and I'm making that up for that one, but it's probably close to true. And, one thing you'll notice is like the older cartridges, like 300 Win Mag, 260, the bullet is about 20%, like sticking out of the case is about 20% of the overall length. More modern cartridges, whether you talk about 6.5, 300 Blackout, 300 PRC, they're all probably closer to 30-35% of the overall length. That's you can get the big, long, good bullets that are better BC, and you can get better efficiency with the shoulder angle in the case and with modern powders. There's some powder changes in 8.6 where it's over 100 feet a second velocity change. So a lot of people don't think about that. So there's always a balance, accuracy, velocity, all of these things. And there's been a lot of technology and improvement, although sometimes it's very subtle in the last few years. So with 8.6, you're going to get, it's reliable in a gas gun because it's designed to fit the magazine. The overall length is correct with super and subs. It's very accurate. And part of that is us using the fast twist, which we're using. And you get full magazine capacity without having to modify magazines. So that, I think, is very important. Because when we first did 300 Blackout, we started loading 300 Whisper, which was J.D. Jones' cartridge. But the bullet shape, he was using 308 Winchester bullets. So the ogive, which is the shape of the bullet, was incorrect. And it would cause some reliability issues because they were too short to fill up the overall length of the magazine. So in shooting, they would shuffle back and forth, and they don't always feed reliably. And the other part is the shape of the bullet's wrong, so it doesn't feed reliably. And a lot of times that's in the magazine. The rib in the magazine is designed to go generally right in front of the shoulder to hold it in place. But if that is too thick or too fat, or the bullet's too fat in that position, it points the bullet in, so it misses the feed ramp, and it'll hit between like the 2 feed ramps on an AR. And that causes reliability, and a lot of people don't understand that. Because there's great killing cartridges, like for a 308 base gun or a 5.56 base gun, like 458 SOCOM. If you want to shoot something at 100 yards, that is a great cartridge. But how do you feed it? You got a 7-round magazine and AR. It's kind of reliable, and then a lot of times you got to open up bolt face so those break. There's all these compromises. And I think once we took 300 Whisper to 300 Blackout, we basically solved a lot of these things. Like a problem with 300, like the ogive, the shape of the bullet is right. So it takes up the full mag length, and it's the right diameter where that front rib is, so we don't have to modify the mags. Because the first mags, when we sent the first rounds to SOCOM, and the first magazines had to be PMags because we used a wood chisel and removed part of that front rib so it would accommodate the bullet that was an incorrect shape and design, which is 308 Winchester. So after that, Remington owned our company, and we worked with Remington Ammo and Jason Imhoff, and we designed, like this bullet for Barnes and that shape, the Sierra 125, and then the 220, 225 grain projectiles that are the proper shape that accommodate that rib in the magazine so it'll feed reliably. So reliability, not to say if you hand load and you modify your mags and guns, there's lots of stuff that's reliable enough for you. There's a lot of Wildcat cartridges like 375 Raptor people try to compare to 8.6. However, it's never going to be reliable for a gas gun, for super and subsonic, and reliable enough for the military. So it's no interest to me.
Right.
So fast twist. So as you know, like 338 Raptor, for instance, that's a 1 in 10, 1 in 11, 1 in 8 twist at the fastest. With 8.6, we're going with a 1 in 3 twist. It's super fast, and we did it for several reasons. It gives us better accuracy with long, heavy subsonic bullets. You need to spin the bullet faster to stabilize it to get the dispersion. So most people would say accuracy, but dispersion. So be able to shoot a bunch of shots in a small little group. You can't do it with slow twists with long bullets. We are using more of the energy with 8.6 with spinning it fast. Like a lot of people, so people say, oh, muzzle weight, and muzzle velocity. That's how you calculate energy. Well, that's only because we do that in firearms, because all the twist was the same. So with 308, it was always 1 in 10. Everybody used it, so you didn't need to accommodate, a measurement for the twist. And it was difficult to calculate. But now with SolidWorks, we can model a bullet, and we can measure the whole thing, and we can easily calculate this. But, like David Stark said, when you use a blender and you use the low setting as opposed to the turbo setting, there's a big fucking difference. It's the same thing when you spin a bullet fast. Spinning a bullet fast gives you accuracy. Subsonic bullets and supersonic will open easier on impact, which is good with solid coppers, because sometimes if you don't have linear velocity, your solid copper bullets are so hard they won't expand reliably if you have a short barrel. So spinning it fast aids in that. And if you watch the discrete ballistics, the testing that he and Ethan did, shooting gel blocks, just the only difference was a 1 in 3 and a 1 in 7 twist. You can see the initial wound cavity is 2 to 3 times bigger with the fast twist. So, some, haters and just, it's like anytime in any industry you're doing something new, you're going to get people that...
You get the skeptics.
Yeah, that it's witchcraft, it's bullshit, it's junk science, and that's all fine.
You don't even have to be a rocket surgeon to realize, you have to now, if it's spinning faster, you have to stop the bullet from going front to back and also rotation. So,
yeah.
I'm no math magician or anything, but I know that if it's spinning real fast and it's going, it's more energy.
Yeah.
And people don't seem to understand it, which I get. But
when you're just trying to use a drill press and you drill something, you have it on a low speed, it takes a lot longer than a high speed.
Right.
A blender is a good example.
Yeah, and it's not, for Pew Science and all the math magicians who are listening.
Right.
It's not more energy. It's a more efficient use of a continuous energy.
Yeah, it's easier to...
we're not creating more energy. We're reallocating it more efficiently.
That's correct. And we generally will say more energy just because for the basic person.
The layman.
Yeah, who is, not a math magician.
Right. Yeah.
So they can understand it. But basically when you fire a cartridge, it's such an inefficient use, a metallic cartridge, of the energy to get the bullet moving. That's why, all the other energy is the sound and the flash. So basically, spinning it fast, we rob from the sound and the flash and put it into the spinning of the bullet, which that's kinetic energy on target, where the flash and the sound, that doesn't hurt the target at all.
Right.
That hurts our ears,
right.
But if we're shooting something 100, 200, 300 meters away, that doesn't do anything to them, but that's a waste of energy.
Right.
And this is putting it into the projectile, into the target. And that's what people really need to understand. So you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did we stop at 1 in 3? Because we tested all the way down to 1 in 1. Stopping at 1 in 3 does really probably one thing for us. You're able to use 338 solid copper bullets. So like expanding bullets, Barnes bullets. And all of the bonded bullets we've tested also work in 1 in 3. We've not tested them all, so there might be some that would come apart depending on how it's bonded and stuff, how thick the jacket is. But we've not tested them all. We're not going to test them all. There's a lot of 338 bullets out there. But all the ones we've tested bonded and solid copper, it's okay. So if you have a lead bullet with a copper jacket, it's not bonded, you can't shoot it in a 1 in 3 twist. So maybe that's a downside, but to me, I would probably never shoot those anyway. Like with 8.6, one of the first cartridges we're going to launch is a 300 grain Sierra Match King lead bullet with a copper jacket, but it's bonded. You don't have to worry about it coming apart out of the muzzle.
I'm sure we will see that, though. I'm sure we'll see plenty of people that send their cans in because their buddy made some bullets and they're great. But
yeah, and that's up to us to educate.
Yeah,
Get the word out.
I mean, that is the one thing. But overall, I mean, I would think that people that are gonna, I mean, I would hope, yeah, we're gonna have problems, but we're also gonna handle it.
Yeah.
And it's like the pork chop silencer that we're doing. That's a steel silencer. It's not the titanium. So we'll have them in a couple sizes. For 338, 8.6 is the same thing. So we'll have like a trash panda or hunting length, and then like the quietest length, which will be around the size of the Thunder Chicken. But the mount's engraved, so that's got all your information on it. So if you do something stupid, I mean, it's not easy, it's not free, but we can, cut the baffle stack off, weld a new one on it.
That for sure, but I think what Jay was getting at is the limitations of the types of projectiles you can use.
Right.
Like you were just saying, non-bonded.
Like there will be people will eventually go, oh, I found this box for real cheap.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come apart, but we'll see.
Yeah, it is.
And there'll be some projectiles that are probably too weak, and they'll open up. The pedals will open up on twisting potentially.
There's going to be a learning curve, but there's no going back. I mean, no one's ever done fast twists. We're doing it now. We see the benefits already with 300 Blackout after 10 years. And even with shorter barrels becoming more popular and the long bullets being popular, even with 6.5 Creedmoor, if you go to 16-inch, it needs to be a faster twist. As we go to a 16-inch 308, we could probably do a faster twist and we get a little more energy into the target. And as we do a 12.5-inch fixed pistol or something, it should probably be faster twists. Like this, we're not going the other way. And so we're going to get to some of that here too, and all these fancy drawings.
We are going to do a 1-in-1 or a 1-in-2 for certain applications, depending on the projectiles, right? That was the plan for military application.
I'm sure, I'm sure those groups will get whatever is best for what they're using. Yeah, but when they decide on a cartridge, they use that cartridge. They're not using whatever they can buy on sale at Ammo Depot.
Right.
So we've already covered that fast twist. So that gives you subsonic accuracy or dispersion. So it's better. What I think we're going to see with 8.6 Blackout, it's the first subsonic sub-MOA cartridge. And it's not going to be all the time every load, but I think that's where we got to, and fast twist is going to help with that. So that's great. This brings up something. A lot of people in the questions, and I posted today, we should probably look at some of this.
Yeah. Well.
But I get this one a lot. So 375 Raptor, how's it compare? So I don't think 375 Raptor was a terrible idea. If you hand load, if you want to tinker with things, it's like I've got a new Suburban and I also have a 91 Land Cruiser imported from Japan. So I want to tinker with the Land Cruiser. The Suburban I never want to touch. So for people who want to tinker, maybe 375 is not a bad idea. Most of the 375 bullets, they were designed, that was an African cartridge, 375 Holland & Holland. A lot of the 375 bullets, none were designed for gas guns. So none are designed to feed reliably in that. But they are designed to open at lower velocities, which you're going to get with 375 Raptor. So on 375raptor.com, a couple things I learned. So it's a 308 case just necked out to 375. So it's like 338 Federal, just a 375 bullet. And on the website, it tells you if you use a gas gun to use PMags and file down those front ribs in the magazine. And if you Google it and do an image of it, like on Black Collar Arms, they posted an image, and you can look in the magazine. They have a picture of the magazine of 308, and then next to it, 375 Raptor. And if you look in the magazine, the bullet 375 is is wonky. It's like that, and it's because that front rib's pushing it over. So you can say it's reliable in your gas gun. It's never going to be reliable without modification. So you're limited there. And that's a problem you're not going to overcome without building special magazines for this. So that's one problem. Also, the case is just too long. So, if you have 375 bullet, that front rib in a 308 case, it's not 375 there. What's interesting about a 308 case is the neck outside diameter is 338. So when we shorten the case up for ours, just like 6.5 Creedmoor did, it's interesting because the neck on the 338 or on a 308 case is 338. So when we shortened it up and we used the bullet, it's the same diameter, so you don't have to modify the magazines. So that's one way we're able to be reliable in a gas gun, is we're not shoving the bullet over and it feeding unreliably or having to modify magazines. So that just kind of worked out, and it's one of the reasons we picked the 338 bullet, is because that diameter on a 330 or a 308 case is 338.
The outside diameter?
Yeah. So when we took this and we moved it back, now the bullet is what's touching the rib in the magazine, and it's the same diameter as the case in a 308. So it's perfect. So there's some things. There's always going to be a compromise when we're not designing the gun and we're not designing the magazines. But so then it's like the decision is, do we design a new gun and magazine, or do we want it to fit in existing stuff? And either way is a compromise. Like, it's going to cost us tens of millions of dollars to develop new guns and magazines, or there could be some compromise. Some people say, oh, you get more energy with, yeah, okay. Yeah. Muzzle energy you do, but also with 375, one thing we do to really bridge that gap of energy, like 375 Raptor, there's a lot of energy. But it's also a 1 in 10, 1 in 8 twist. So when we start spinning that bullet fast, if you calculate that, there's not a difference. Or in some places will exceed the energy of 375. But you also, what about accuracy? What about reliability? Bullet selection. There are these things. We talked about this earlier. So not creating more energy, but reallocating the energy. So instead of sound and flash, we're using some of that energy to create kinetic energy on target. So it doesn't flash as much, and it's not as loud. And also, it's no accident that with this cartridge we're using steel silencers, because the titanium silencers will flash more from unburnt powder and stuff. And steel flashes less, and that's a requirement with the military. So we talked about that. The 338, so the case, the 338 Federal cartridge, the case is the length of 308. So if you want to use the big, long subsonic bullets, the bullet is seated too deep, and the ogive of the bullet is to fit in a magazine, then the ogive is smaller in diameter than the case neck, so it won't feed reliably. Do you understand? Like, you can't have the diameter, the OD of the bullet at the ogive where it's seated in the case or the shell, the cartridge. It has to, that neck diameter, the ID of that has to be the same. If you go smaller, you're going to have feeding issues because you're going to have a big ledge there. So, like I read something about, did some reading on 375 Raptor. It's like, oh, you can use 400 grain bullets. If you want to put a 400 grain bullet in a 375 Raptor case, which is a 308 case, opened up 375 and put it in this magazine, the bullet is set so deep in here that there's a gap there. So you can't really use it. You could use it in a single shot, or maybe some bolt guns, but not in a traditional magazine. So powders, shoulder. So having a more efficient shoulder, which we'll get into in some drawings I have here. We're able to be more efficient with the given space that we have. The twist, these are all science. These are trying to maximize what we're trying to work with, a metallic cartridge. Silencer, the pork chop, 338 silencers. There's silencers on the market at AAC. We won several military contracts, which are still being supported with 338 silencers. I don't know what silencer you use for a 375.
Me either.
What do you use? That stupid hybrid from Silencer Blow?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
No idea.
All right. And we talked.
Be worth looking up to see what people are using.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're using.
Oh.
I know we had the one dude just ask us to do a special one.
Yeah.
So the 1 in 3 twist is greater than a 1 in 7. So you get a bigger initial wound cavity. We're putting more kinetic energy into the target. So it's not just muzzle energy. Because unless you're shooting something with the muzzle touching it, who gives a shit what muzzle energy is? What's your energy downrange? Like at what distance are you going to shoot something? That's where you care about energy. And then, you can watch that discrete ballistics video. It'll show you what a fast twist will do. So 8.6, it's compact, Jay.
Yes,
It's
it is.
quiet. It kills. It opens a bullet super easy. So it's very efficient in every way. I mean, it's just modern. We're nothing if not modern and hip and
Certainly are.
fucking badass. So I think I just said this. So fast twist also opens easier, faster.
Yeah.
Energy. So we're getting more energy. Whatever, Thomas. So gas gun. So we just talked about this. This is what I was talking about, the rib in the magazine. So the bullet gets wonky in there and points towards the middle where, if designed correctly, you don't have to modify a pre-existing magazine. The cartridge is straight in the mag. So that's what you need to have. So, and you start thinking about, this isn't just 8.6 or 375 Raptor or 300 Blackout and like any of these things. Here's kind of a visual. So old and new. So a lot of old cartridges look like this. When we talk about proportions or percentage of the bullet compared to the overall length, this is what cartridges look like. Everything like the new hotness is all this. Instead of 20%, the bullet is 30% or so of the overall. And you see the shoulder angle difference. This is, a 20 degree. This will be a 30 degree. So you're getting more case capacity. You can be more efficient and with more powder. So, for instance, 260 Remington looks like this. Adam?
Yep. It does look like that, yeah.
6.5 Creedmoor looks like this.
Yes, it does.
Big old bullet sticking out
Some nice
there.
drawings.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tried real hard. 300 Win Mag,
Yep.
which I love 300 Win Mag. It's a great cartridge.
See it?
So, but the bullet's like barely sticking out.
Yeah.
And then 300 PRC. What's that look like? And it's replacing Win Mag and SOCOM.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So 300 Blackout, you can also see when we did that, a long, slender bullet, correct ogive. The bullet's sticking out a whole bunch. We're efficient. 338 Federal, same thing. It's short, little short guy sticking out there. Jay, we could name this 338J. So, and then 8.6 Kevin right here.
8.6 Kevin.
Nice.
Looking like that. So, and this is what I'm talking about, the rib in the magazine. So these dents you see in aluminum magazines are on Magpul. They're on the inside because it's injection molded. That's not to make like it stronger, not just to make it stronger. That also positions right here. So it'll be on the inside, generally right in front of the shoulder on the throat. So if you shorten the case and the bullet sticking out, it needs to be that diameter. If you make it bigger, the bullets are going to point in. It's not good.
Science.
So, this was the ogive one in the neck. So if you put in like a big, long subsonic bullet,
Yeah, you get that little gap.
you get that big, yeah, it's not the diameter of that throat, and so it's not going to work.
That ain't it.
Yeah.
Nice try.
So it seems like most people are using the hybrid 46,
Gross.
as we guessed.
God.
Bowers makes a 375 Verse 375.
Mm.
It's in stock if anybody's interested.
The hybrid, so one of those...
It's a 22 can and a 50 cal can or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Not 50.
No, not 50.
and a 4570.
Yeah, that's right.
Approximately 46.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
About 46.
458 SOCOM, I guess is why they said
Yeah.
46. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that kind of stuff. It's
No.
stupid. Don't compromise in that way. And I think maybe for a lot of the masses, the market for silencers is getting big enough. They want to do that. I do not want our company doing that sort of stuff. It makes me feel gross.
I get why it's appealing to people, but you're gonna just leave your can on your gun. Just get another can. You don't need a 22 can and then also 45-70 can.
I get why a lot of people are given to compromise, but I don't think it's what our company is about. And I want those 10 or 20% of people who can appreciate the absolute best thing.
Yep.
And I want us to build that, because I'm not inspired to go to work to do something that is average.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we need to do it better. But yeah, there is. I mean, you got to use these bullshit silencers for. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the Spy Horse can, but the Surefire or silencer blow, that hybrid. That's one of the worst silencers on the market. And I've said it before. I hate the idea of that, because the only person who buys that is a novice or a beginner silencer customer. That's one of their first cans, and it's such a bad experience. That silencer is not quiet. It's horrible. I mean, it's better than nothing,
right?
But it's, I don't even know, like 25% as good as it could be for any given cartridge.
It's like buying a Porsche and getting the Boxster. Like
the Boxster's great. It's mid-engine.
It's gross. It's convertible.
Oh,
what do you drive?
That part.
Not a Boxster.
Mid-engine.
So, devil's advocate, sometimes we say buy a trash pan and buy a Thunder Chicken, and you can shoot 5.56.
Yeah, that's true.
Also true.
Yeah.
But it works well for 5.56.
Or people are going to do it. Yeah, it's large volume and stuff. But, yeah, I mean it's not completely different. But
right.
we're not saying, 338 Lapua Magnum with 22 long rifle.
And it's not...
We're not marketing it as this hybrid,
right?
Do everything silencer.
It's not take it apart, put it back together, and now it's like...
No, I think if you want to do like... with me being such an ass a second ago, if you want to do 6.5 Creedmoor and 308 in the same can, it's reasonable. But I guess the point with the 375 is there isn't really there aren't many big, none. And I mean, I knew of that hybrid ridiculousness. Yeah. The other one I didn't even know about, but there just aren't silencers for that, which to me is a big part of that cartridge. Or any cartridge where you can load a big, heavy subsonic round is, I want it to be quiet. Like, why do you want a big, heavy subsonic round if no silencer? It's loud as shit.
Yeah, to clarify, I don't think anyone is against the idea of using a round that fits through your can, but the idea of taking the can apart, then reconfiguring it to a different caliber, like that is a bad idea. But like shooting 5.56 through a 30 cal can, who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, even some instances. And even somewhere I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, I think probably Silencer Co.'s best product, their Omega 9K.
I have one.
Yeah. It's loud on a pistol, a 9mm, and it's loud on 300 Blackout. But it's way better than nothing.
It's quiet enough.
Quiet enough for a lot of situations if you're hunting. And it's compact and lightweight.
Yeah, it is little, for sure. It looks good.
It looks very good.
It looks really good.
Yeah, so I didn't even think that was reasonable, but I think it is.
Not in the same ballpark, but we were in the cage the other day. Colin and I were grabbing one of the Odessa to take a comparison picture.
That's gross.
Yeah, took a nice comparison picture. But I grabbed one of the, I think it's the SRD 5.56s or whatever. That can is so heavy.
Oh, yes.
Still.
Yeah.
Do you have, where's your phone? We got more questions. I put it on the...
Yeah, I wanted to wait. Being a professional.
Well, what else we got?
Oh,
I didn't say... No, that was not a dig. Yeah, it was. I just didn't want to get yelled at.
That's all right.
Yeah, don't be a dick, Jay.
Recoil impulse. What's it like? Is it similar to 308 or what?
8.6 again?
Yeah.
No.
8.6 is good. I mean, the moment of inertia is very small. The recoil impulse is not big. Like a full load, full disclosure, like 338 Federal, if you're shooting inside of 300 yards, is better than 308. And it recoils like it is. The 8.6 recoil, the recoil and sound performance and accuracy, even though I trust Ethan with everything engineering, I did not believe him fully until I started shooting it. Recoil is great, even out of the lightweight bolt gun.
Compared to 300 or 308?
Yes.
Yeah. More or less.
I think it's
equal.
less.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get the actual scientific data from the engineers, but for me, practical experience, It's less recoil with the supersonic 12.5 inch than the 308 and a 16 inch with a full power load.
Nice.
This one's could have multiple answers, but the biggest game you would use 864 inside 300 meters, but it doesn't. Like, I don't know if when he says inside 300, if he's insinuating that you'd be using subs or what.
Well, I don't think so. Well, I'm going to say that he's not, since he didn't say subs. I'm going to shoot Cape Buffalo with it. I mean, I would shoot any animal in the world. Well, elephant's a big animal. Anything shy of an elephant, I would shoot with this at the appropriate distance. Like with super, yeah. So we're gonna go probably in August and November back to Africa, and one of those times I'm gonna shoot with a 12.5 inch. I'm gonna shoot a Cape Buffalo with the 338 supersonic. I mean, I shot Neil Guy is an incredibly durable animal, and I shot a big bull, a 600-pound bull, one shot at 225 meters, and I'll shoot the Cape Buffalo at 20 meters. So, yeah. So we're going to have video of that. Thomas is probably going to pee his little pants making this video right behind me. The deadliest animal in Africa, we're going to shoot at a distance like probably no longer than this room.
That's a Cape Buffalo?
Yeah, they kill more people than anything, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, well, I don't know, but it's known as the most dangerous
hippos
animal,
too. They're pretty vicious.
Hippo, though, here's the thing. They are, but hippo, 85% of the time you shoot those in the water.
Yeah.
It's rare that you catch them out of the water. If you're between them and the water, they fucking kill you. If they're in the water, they just stay there. So it depends when you say dangerous.
Yeah.
But 85, you always catch a Cape Buffalo on the land. But hippo, 85% of the time they're in the water, so it's not dangerous. They won't come out.
We had a Marine, well, I say we, there was a Marine in Africa when I was in Africa at a different post, and he jumped in the water to save somebody who was being attacked by a hippo, and he got some big award for it.
Yeah.
That's some balls.
I mean, you see them. I mean, they kill each other. They kill their babies. They'll bite on crocodile. I mean, they're vicious. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going in the water with a hippo. No, but, I would think if you that's some big balls. He should have gotten an award to go in the water to help save someone from a hippo.
Because what are you going to do to a hippo?
Would you rather go in the water
Well, apparently he saved a guy.
with a hippo or in a pool with a cat?
Man, a cat, you can, I mean, it's going to scratch. You just grab it and throw it. Like, who cares?
So,
A hippo, you're fucked.
What about a bathtub with a cat?
It still just
You can run-
scratches you. It just sucks. It's scary, but it can't really hurt you. I mean, maybe it gets lucky and calls an eye. Like, whatever.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, you throw it against if I can pick it up and throw it against a wall and kill it, like, I'm not going to be scared of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. People ask a lot about the cost. They think it's going to be this outrageous cost for this round.
But Hornady told us it was about the same as 6.5 Creeper.
Yeah, so it's going to be about the cost of 6.5. Yeah. But I saw a couple people being douches about it, and it's like, I can't control the price of powder, primers, brass, and cartridges right now because you guys are acting like idiots because of COVID and Biden. But when we have a normal economy, an ammo economy, 6.5 Creedmoor, Hornady's not stupid. They've become a great ammo company for a lot of reasons, and a lot because they're smart. They have great technology, great ammunition, but 6.5 Creedmoor only became popular because Hornady made it very affordable and high quality.
Yeah.
And they produced it in mass.
They made it so you shouldn't even have to reload your own 6.5.
No, unless your deal is shooting the tiniest groups you can. I mean, because you're never going to get, like, every chamber and all slightly different. You measure chamber, you load your own. You could do better, but, out of the box. Yeah. So, I mean, in 6.5, when we have a normal ammo economy, 6.5 is $1.10 a round.
Yeah, it's not. So it's very reasonable.
So, and they told me it would be within 10%. Mm-hmm. It could be the price of Creedmoor, but maybe even just the commodity price, like we're using a little more stuff with 8.6, it would be within 10%. So you figure $1, 20, 25 a round, in a normal economy. It's not 22 long rifle. It's not going to be 9 millimeters. Not going to be 5.56. But also
go buy 300 Win Mag. Like, if you're fine with buying 300 Win Mag, you're going to be fine buying this.
Yeah, I mean, this is, if you want to shoot subsonic accurately at hundreds of meters, this is your choice. If you want a reasonably lightweight gun, if you want a compact gun that you can hunt with and kill big shit with, like, what's that worth? Yeah, I mean, you're right. 300 Win Mag, and it's cheap. Like, I just, you know, there's always layers to this. 300 Win Mag's expensive, but it's cheap because then buy 300 Norma Mag.
Right.
Or buy 338 Lapua Magnum ammo. Buy 50 caliber ammo. I just got an African double rifle in 450-400. And because I don't want a bunch of them, I wanted one. And I think it's the best for everything I'm going to shoot, all around cartridge. And that ammo is $5 to $7 a shot.
Yeah.
However, if you get 600 nitro, it might be $15 a shot.
Right.
But if I get 375 Holland and Holland, you know, it's $2.50 a shot, $3 a shot.
Yeah.
So,
and people like even bringing gun broker or whatever, like bringing those wild prices in. It's only that expensive because you're paying for it. You're buying it.
and it's only temporary. Like, what's 300 Blackout right now?
I don't think I've ever purchased 300 Blackout.
Well, the market says, I think it's
Fucking
like
thief.
180. I want to say it's like 180 around right now. It's like pretty up there. Well,
it's cheaper than I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, when we developed this and we started selling it through Remington, we had some subsonic ammo that was $10 a box. So 50 cents around.
yeah.
So whatever.
One that I think we should cover, because people seem to think that the difference between the fix and the mini fix is just because it's smaller physically, or shorter. So someone said,
What is the difference then?
well, it's a smaller receiver and different caliber. But my example is, I think you said 9-inch barrel will be the shortest length. Is there going to be a mini? Like, I don't know if he's asking if we'll also do a mini.
Oh,
right.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, people don't understand. So the 300 Blackout goes in an AR-15 magazine. The mini fix uses an AR-15 magazine. The regular fix uses an SR-25 or AR-10. So a 308 magazine. It's bigger. Like, there you go. 300 Blackout and 8.6. It's fucking bigger.
Yeah.
So the receiver is just longer. 8.6 is for the regular fix, the longer receiver. And talking with Ethan as we learn more and develop more with the cartridge, because it's set, we're just developing all the loads and bullets and stuff now. It's still way efficient with an 8 or 9-inch barrel. So at some point, we'll probably do it. It's just like 300 Blackout. We developed it for a 9-inch barrel because that's what SOCOM wanted. But the Honey Badger is a 7-inch barrel now and was as short as a 5-inch barrel like the Rattler. So, you know, there's a window for all this. Like a 16-inch 8.6 is going to be better than a 12.5-inch 8.6 in a lot of ways. But, you know, it's longer and heavier. It's like everything's a compromise. So, yeah, we'll do shorter barrels, but it ain't going in a mini fix. It doesn't fit through the mag well.
Right.
5.56 goes in the mini fix. The fix is 308.
Everyone always wants to know.
We'll readdress that again next week.
Yeah, exactly. Or tonight in the DMs.
Yeah.
Everyone always asks effective range, and effective for what is my question usually.
That's. I mean, it's. I don't know how to answer it appropriately, but like me answering it the way I would answer you is just an ignorant question. Like, you have to tell me what you want to do
Right.
with it. And that's why we say the best way to describe it is it's twice what 300 Blackout is. And Ethan would probably argue it's 3 times. But we'll just say until we have more data, it's twice. So, you know, I've shot 300 Blackout to 1,000 meters.
Right.
I wouldn't try to shoot an animal.
Right. You can poke holes in paper at 1,000.
I mean, the Browning High Power in World War II, you know, some of those had an 800-meter sight. Like, it's stupid, but if you shoot someone in the head at 800 meters with a 9mm, it's going to kill them. But, I mean, kind of stupid to have it on the pistol.
Make them think twice about getting closer.
I mean, but yeah, effective range. I mean, for me, here's what I'm going to do. Everything inside of, I would say 300, but I'll probably say 400. I'm going to shoot with 8.6 with a 12.5-inch barrel. Definitely to 300. Maybe I use a 16-inch if I want to go to 400 or so. And subsonic, I'm willing to shoot stuff at 200 to 300 meters. And I don't have a ton of experience with it now, so I don't want to like say more, but I know that's correct. 200 to 300 meters with subsonic. And it's still gonna, spinning fast, a big heavy pointy bullet is gonna kill stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna expand, and it's still gonna expand. That's another advantage. As it slows down linear velocity, it's still spinning fast. The bullets are gonna expand way more reliably than if you're shooting a 1 in 10 twist. So yeah, I think it's twice the range of 300 Blackout, and it's effective.
I think that's a common answer for all those that, like, people are searching for one answer, whether it's like, what scope should I get for this gun, or what, like, there's no one answer. It's all what you're doing.
I mean, scope for the 8.6, like when we shoot that Buffalo, I'm going to have a red dot on it.
Yeah.
And maybe iron sights, but a red dot. But for 8.6, we're going to go out to Wyoming. We're going to shoot to 1,000 yards, super and subsonic. And we'll probably use the Leupold 3-18, a Horus H59 reticle, 20 MOA mount. Like, have to do that. But what I generally use on the 8.6 right now, if I know we're only going to shoot to still to 200 meters, I use a red dot. If I'm going to hunt and I'm going to shoot to maybe 300 meters, I'm using a 1-6 or a 1-8.
Yeah.
Those would be what I would use. But, I hunt a lot, and a lot of times, you think you're going to shoot something at 200-300 meters, and you shoot at 20 meters. So I like being able to go down to 1 power. But, I just got from Swarovski a couple days ago, like a 1.7 to 13.3, which is probably an overall hunting scope, like the best.
Right.
And I think anything in there, like Night Force has got a 2 to 10 that they've made for 20 years. It's a great optic. Like, there's a lot of great options out there. And I think it's personal preference. So, like, there isn't one answer. Like, what are you shooting? How far is it? Like, if you just have a dot, I like the circle on the dot, EOTech, because it's very fast. But if I'm trying to shoot accurately at 100 yards, I want the smallest dot there is. The smallest dot's not the fastest. And if I want to really be accurate, I want to be able to magnify it.
Yep. Yeah, it's just so hard to answer that. Like, I get why people are asking us because we all use it, but not necessarily 8.6, just everything. But
it's like when people say butter boobs. Like, I don't know, man.
They say what?
They ask you if you like booty or boobs. Like, I don't like. What?
Both? Those.
I think they said butter.
Butter.
Yeah, I like butter too. So
Butter and boobs.
Butter's dope.
Butter on boobs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So the optic thing, there's not a correct answer. It's like I tell people a lot of times too. On my Honey Badger, I have 2 uppers. Yeah. So I have a dot, and I like the Aim Point or Delta Point Pro. I love it because it's super compact and lightweight, but it's just a dot. But generally, if we're pig hunting, and we might be shooting movers, so like we know we're going to get, depending on type hunting, but if I'm going to shoot stuff that's running, I like the EOTech, the circle with the dot. It's faster, and I think hit probability, at least for me, is better with that.
Yeah.
But then it's a heavier optic. And if, we're going to be stationary and sneak up on stuff, it's not going to know we're there, then I want magnification where I can zoom in. So I like having both. Honey Badger, I like having an upper with a dot, and I like having one with a low power variable.
I like the looks of all the aim points a lot, but I just can't use them. I got to run EOTech.
The thing that bugs me about EOTech is they don't make something lighter.
Yeah.
Like for my use, I don't need that big aluminum shield on it.
Right.
It adds like a couple ounces, and
you can take that off too, though.
You can, but I just wish they would make something that is smaller and lighter.
Yeah.
But gives you that big wide screen. Because field of view, that's a problem too. With hunting, I encourage people to hunt every time you come off an animal or out of a situation where maybe you dial up to look at something, make it a habit to turning it back down to the lowest possible power. Because you lose stuff so easy, and it's so hard to find stuff with point of view. If you're out at the range shooting targets, doesn't matter. You get all the time in the world. But hunting or a self-defense situation, like in the house here, I would never have the Honey Badger with a variable power optic on it. No. I would only have a dot. Like if I know I have to, this is, that front hallway in the house is long. That's like, I don't know, 60, 70 meters, like still a dot's fine. And I never want the situation to lose something due to small field of view because of magnification.
Yeah.
UTech might be the only company not making a pistol sight,
Good for them.
right?
Maybe.
I think so.
You say that. You got those young, good eyes, man. I have to use
I
a
have
dot on
astigmatism.
pistols now. I can't even use iron sights anymore.
Yeah. I can still
I mean,
use
as far as
irons,
like
but-
mini red dot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know. They should.
I feel like EOTech's like,
Maybe
The
it's like
Glock
a
of the-
technology limitation with their holographic.
yeah, maybe. I feel like they're just like the Glock of the
I don't
sights, though.
know.
Like Glock made the Glock,
mean-
and they don't change it. They change sizes.
I
but-
just put a RMR on my Glock, and I think I hate it.
really?
Yeah.
I do not like it as much, but I just can't see my front sight.
I want to put a Delta Point Pro on my 2011, but I don't have any experience with them. So it's just like
just
at
gotta
least on a
practice.
pistol. I know. Yeah, I know.
Well, it is interesting, but no, I mean the technology would work because like Delta Point Pro is a projection too.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
But
will say that's the
EOTech
best
is.
one.
They're owned by a big company though, so
I'm not
it's
sure.
hard to
L3?
get shit done there. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, is EOTech owned by L3?
Partner.
Well, they-
Yeah.
purchase.
They
I don't
were.
know.
Maybe they were just sold. I don't know.
Yeah, because I
There's
know you
something-
can buy like pecs and stuff through EOTech, and that's all.
Yeah.
L3 stuff. I do like I think the Delta Point Pro is probably like the clearest or most crisp. Actually, that's not true. The Acro is the most crisp dot I've ever seen, but the battery sucks. Like,
Well, if the battery sucks, and one thing, the Acro, it's all enclosed, so you can't get mud or dirt or something
Right.
over the
your
projection.
emitter, yeah.
So that's cool, but then you're also looking through a tunnel, which
Right.
I don't like as much. I mean, everything's a compromise,
Yeah.
man. I mean, there's no free lunch with any of this.
All
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
like, it just looks like all dots look like a star to me. So the EOTech's the easiest for me. It's
Your
quick.
little stigmatism.
Yeah, a little bit.
Me too.
Swarovski does a good job with the dot. It's the only one to me that doesn't like burst.
The first time I think I've looked through, not a good, because like I've shot through like the nice loopholes and stuff that we've gotten. Some of the Voodoos are really good too, but I looked through your Z8 the other day, or it might not even have been a Z8. It might have been something else. I think it was.
But
But
that 1.5 to 13 or whatever.
was that what you had at the shop? Oh, okay. So that's what I looked through, and even just inside a building, I was like, oh, this is what a clear scope looks like. And you don't know until you know. And now
I don't think Swarovski necessarily is the best thing for everyone, and they're incredibly expensive,
Yeah.
like the new ones, the Z8s. So it's ridiculous. But I have to use an optic on my guns now, and if I'm going halfway around the world, an extra $1,000 for a scope to me is like that's half the price of my plane ticket.
Right.
But a lot of the things like in Night Force, and we talked about it before, and some of the other companies, Vortex, they do for the military adds a ton of weight and complexity to the scope that I don't give a shit about for my use.
Yeah.
And, for me, like using the Mini Fix or the Honey Badger, or even the Fix rifle, which we talked about in the last podcast in Africa, the compactness and how lightweight that gun is so enhances every experience and actually gives me greater opportunity. It's like laziness. Like if I trained a lot more and physically were stronger and more fit, like I would be able to do, I would get an extra 10, 20% out of my hunting. Can also do it by taking weight off the guns and always having it with you loaded all the time so you can shoot quickly. So, I mean, even the optic, because it's not just one thing. It's like the entire gun. Like the weight needs to come out of every part of the gun.
The Q products definitely do spoil us. Like even that 416 you had, like I never would have noticed how heavy it was before.
It's stupid.
And now like you hold a Honey Badger every day and then you grab that, like holy shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, 416 is a great gun. To me, it's like I love the Night Force 4 to 16 scope. I'll take it to Wyoming so everyone can try it. Like it was probably
That's what I have on my Fix.
It was probably at the time it came out the brightest. You got the best clarity, like everything with it. But it weighs like 10 ounces more than the scope I have on my Fix, and it doesn't like 10 ounces will work out a little bit. Okay, yeah, hold the gun up or carry the gun, and it's like when I talked about putting that Atlas bipod that's 16 ounces on the Fix for a couple days when I had it slung and was hiking with that gun.
Yeah.
Like I hated it.
That's what I need to do is just invest in good glass. Like I've got like a $400 Vortex on my Fix right now. Every time I post pictures of them, like I'm just waiting for someone to be like, "Why is that on there?"
Yeah, and then tell that person to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but there's a very legitimate difference between very clear glass and just getting by.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of things like Vortex. What's their big fancy scope? That's real.
The Razor.
The Razor,
Razor
you know,
Yeah.
like the tracking, like they do a lot of great things. And if I were only going to drive to my range and get out of my truck and walk over to the bench or go prone and shoot targets, I would put something like that on the fix, you know, because there's lots of advantages to the fix, even if it's heavy. You know, the short bolt throw, the detachable magazine, the AR controls, the trigger's great. You can change caliber, all these things. But I wouldn't care how much the scope weighed if I did that. And actually having the gun be heavier, just like these PRS guys, it's better for recoil and staying on target a lot of times. Mm-hmm. But it's not all I do, and it's not the primary use I have of a firearm. You know, we go to Wyoming, and I've got like some awesome, you know, guns like the Barrett rifle, their PSR rifle, the
2010s.
The 2010. I've got a Surgeon rifle, AP 8,000 yard guns. I've got the Remington MSRs. You know, they're like 25 pounds with optics. But I have 300 Norma Mag, 300 Win Mag, 338, like great cartridges too. But it's like, okay, I even dread carrying it in the airport in the case. It's so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
But then it'd be great because we'll go out there and we'll just lay down and shoot a bunch, and it's cool. But I would still just rather shoot the fix.
Yeah.
I can do more with it.
Yeah. I have my fix set up like just to go to the range, lay down and shoot at steel. And I'd rather just bring that than even just bringing an MSR from out there into here. I'm like, this sucks. Like, it's
when we bring guns in.
Yeah, like it's one of the coolest looking. It's one of my favorite looking guns ever. And I'm just like, man, this is way too heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I love. You know, I've got some property here and can shoot whatever I want, and I've got some belt feds, and I love the M2. I love the 1919, but
you gotta lug it there.
Yeah, I gotta
just
carry
the tripod for the M2 is like 100 pounds.
Yeah,
like,
it's ridiculous. I mean, you know, it's like having the Solitaire in the hallway.
Yeah,
it's like, I mean, I guess somebody could break in and steal it, but you better bring a truck and like 6 dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, what else? Anything else?
Yeah. Speaking of zookeepers, our mystery shirt winner
is a zookeeper.
Is not a zookeeper.
Oh, he's not.
Gray.
Oh, Gray. That's his name, Gray,
yeah,
right?
Gray Ingram.
That made my entire week. What a badass. When we randomly, and you guys didn't have confidence, but I caught one just like I said I would in the air like a fucking ninja. And we FaceTime him. How great is that? That he's at his kid's t-ball game holding his other little brat and FaceTiming. It just totally made my day.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Man, you got hooked up.
He did.
He did get hooked up.
Yeah, he was excited, and I just loved it. I felt like this is someone, you know, that it probably really makes a difference to. I mean, because, I mean, I don't know. Most guys his age got a toddler. They got a 6-year-old. You know, there's not always, you know, excess $10,000 laying around to throw on guns.
He told us he didn't have any Q guns. He had a barrel assembly that he put on one of his like AR builds, and like now he's got what he wants.
That was a good announcement. I think it was the best one. Good job, Tommy.
Yeah, great. I mean, everything, even the stupid dump all the little numbers on my head and everything. I mean, the whole thing was great. FaceTiming him, and he answered. I love it. He's like, I was on the phone with my homie and told him I had to go. It could be you. You know, like it was so wonderful. And, just somebody that I think those are most of the DMs that I got, at least on my personal social media, where everyone's like, it's so great that it's, you know, that it wasn't someone like on a yacht in South Florida. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's good. You know?
And people were surprisingly excited for him. Like on the YouTube channel, on the Q page, like all the comments were like, good for him. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he seemed very excited, was gracious, and just the whole idea. I mean, you know, you don't have kids yet. Adam and I do, and he's getting to this point, but you know, when they're that age, you're doing the things like he's holding the kid, like he just got off work. The other one's playing t-ball. Like he's just, I mean, you're just trying not to let shit go off the rails. That's like parenthood. And the first 10 years.
Yeah,
like,
he
was awesome.
Yeah. Super humble. I mean, maybe that's just his personality, but he's also in public at a baseball game. You know?
That's true. I would have lost my. I mean, I would have lost my shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I won a case of Coca-Cola one time.
Nice.
And maybe a couple things, but never anything like that.
How did you win a case of Coca-Cola?
Some raffle thing, and they were like great prizes, and then all the way
That
down
is a
to that.
great
This
prize.
was like the 80s, man. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
It is a great prize.
I mean, at the time, I was like
You like
12
it.
years old. Like, I was pretty stoked. Like,
Yeah.
to me, it's like, okay, rather than me being able to have one Coke a day, I have 24. Fuck you guys. I'll do what I want. You know? I mean, it was a pretty good feeling. But I don't know that I've ever really won. But I don't really gamble or anything either.
No,
But, I mean, I don't know. Buy a mystery shirt. I love our shirts. I'd buy one anyway. Have a chance to win something like that.
Yeah, and shirts are due in any day now, right? What do you think? Monday? So we're on track to
When did we
ship
tell
them all
people we're shipping them?
when they get a tracking number?
Did we say ahead of time? Because people message me a lot,
yeah.
and I'm like,
It's
did it
fucking
not
annoying.
say when you ordered
yeah, it
one?
says in big red letters, actually.
Yeah. A lot of people don't read the website.
No.
Right now, it's on track to be in Q's house by the 24th, which by the time you're seeing this right now,
2 weeks before.
you'll probably be starting
Wearing
to
it.
see them show up on people's doorsteps.
Yeah.
So as soon as they're in house at Q, it's gonna be all hands on deck to get them out to customers.
That's
efficiently.
awesome.
Big old pizza party.
That's thousands. That's
We should have people
probably
come in
going
and
to have
help
to be
us.
more in pizza.
We should have people come in and help us,
Masseuses.
like local homies.
What if they bought one?
No, like the homeless guy that lives outside of. No.
Oh, he got into it with the cops the other day. I heard the whole story. It was great.
He did.
Tell
He
us.
win.
So you know,
Because, you know, to me, generally not a fan of the Popo. I'm with our homeless homie.
yeah. So you know, the main road that's right there, it's like a highway, like out back.
I am
You're talking
aware.
about Route 1.
Yes, sir. But like this section of Route 1 is straight up like a highway.
Yeah.
And he crosses it all the time.
Mhm.
And it's got
Oh.
like a concrete median with a fence in between, like,
My man's homeless. He lives by no rules, by choice.
I know.
I respect.
but it's dangerous. And the police,
Yeah, especially since he's always high as fuck.
yeah, and the police, I guess, stopped him and said, "Don't be doing that anymore." And he was not happy with that.
Well, Ethan and I just looked at him one day, and he showed us his junk. So I can imagine what
Yeah.
he said to the
well,
cop.
he was like, because the dude that works in Buzzy's, shout out John, he
John's
was
the
like,
homie.
oh, he's like, whoever, like, he's got no problem when he crosses. They're probably just picking on you. And our homeless pal was, he was convinced of that and not excited about it.
Did he get jammed up? They arrested him.
No, I don't think they arrested him, but he
They
was just
arrest
mad
him.
that they even talked to him.
We should tell him we're going to bail him out anytime he gets arrested.
Oh, Jesus.
I think we got his back.
Yeah.
Man,
Not every time.
I don't know. Some of the Portsmouth PD, they're fucking assholes.
I've
Like,
never dealt with him.
I let we can bail the dude out for harassing.
Oh, he's
him.
the
I don't
homie.
care. I mean, he's not going to go out of his way to harass him. It's
No.
when they say shit to him. Like, if he wants to tell him to eat a dick, like, pay for him to get it. Like, what? It costs us to bail him out. I don't know, $500. Let's
Maybe.
do it.
Depends
I'll
what
do
he
it.
does.
He seems cool.
That's
dude.
true. Yeah, we're not taking on that
The felonies.
quarter. Yeah,
Yeah.
those bills. I done
Yeah.
been down that. Yeah. If it's a misdemeanor, we got him. Tell him we got his back.
He spooked me a couple times going to throw like cardboard out or something.
Yeah, tell him to stop pooping on the porch.
Yeah, he's like tucked between the dumpster and the wall, like drinking Natty Daddies or whatever. I'm like, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah, I was out
Sit
It's
at-
8 a.m. What are you doing?
Sit at the picnic table, asshole, like the
Yeah.
rest of us alcoholics.
I was shooting my bow in the top parking lot last year on lunch break, and he just came strolling up on his bike and stopped, and I'm like, fuck, here we go.
Yeah, you're gonna
He
finally
was
get
totally
to-
cool.
You're gonna Rambo him?
He's the guy that I
Yeah.
talked about who verbally dominated me and Ethan, and then
You never told that story on this.
I didn't.
No.
Oh my god.
It's a
Okay,
good
so I'll
story.
tell the story. I want to preface though. I saw him digging through the Goodwill dumpster
Across
that
the
people
street?
put foods. Yeah, or put clothes in. So let's hook him up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's buy him clothes or whatever he wants. Like I like.
We should
it.
get him a new bike. His bike's
Does
all
he
like.
need one?
Well, we're assuming he doesn't like his bike.
That's true.
Yeah. Why don't we talk to him? And if he wants clothes, let's get his sizes. We'll buy him clothes, and we can get him a bike. I'll buy him a bike. So here's the story. So
He's probably some fucking rich dude.
I know. Yeah.
well, I think because he's homeless year round here, and you can't be homeless year round in New Hampshire. You die.
Oh, yeah.
So my thinking is that his family lives on that road behind us, and he's just like a crazy drug addict that doesn't give a fuck. And so like he lives homeless when the weather's good, and he probably lives in the basement when it's bad. That's
and
my
the
guess.
Excursion. He has definitely taken naps in the excursion.
You think so?
Yeah, they like the guys will go to the range and all the seats will be folded down. They're like, what the fuck? Because they don't
we
do
not
that.
lock the fucking doors?
No.
Jesus.
No.
Yeah, maybe we should. I don't know. I never smelled him in there, but
No.
I tell you, somebody stole a cat off that thing.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
shot the cat.
I hate thieves. Like, I'm down with our homie. If he steals from us,
Yeah,
fuck him. But as long as he's not, let's take care of him.
Yeah.
But these like meth heads that are stealing catalytic converters, fuck those guys. I wish that excursion would have fucking crushed them. However,
I mean, yeah.
Homeless Dan story. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm supposed to give his name out, but
that's his name, Dan?
Yeah.
God, another Dan.
I know.
So many Dans.
It makes my day that his name's Dan. I'm gonna fuck with Dan now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 2-3 years ago. The Firearm Blog was at the office. Pete from the Firearm Blog, cool guy. Did an interview, a story about something with me and Ethan, and so we stay having some beers. So it's dark when we go out, and it's in the winter. Well, it wasn't winter, it wasn't snow, but it's getting dark early enough. And we go out the front, down the stairs. We're standing there. We're all about to leave. We're bullshitting before we go. You know, like sorority girl, goodbye, whatever. And so we look, you know, in the Buzzy's truck stop across the street right there. And we have, at the end of our parking lot, we have a telephone pole with a light on it where the mailboxes are. And I'm facing that way. And I see him start walking towards us. He crosses the street from the truck stop. I'm like, oh, God. And he sees me looking at him. We're talking like, that's like 100 yards.
Yeah.
Like, it's far. He sees me looking at him. He immediately, in the light, so the light's shining on him, so like spotlight, like a Janet Jackson video, he turns around, pulls his pants down, and bends over and pulls his ass cheeks apart.
It's called the goat.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, it was horrible. And so his, you know, junk's
he's not
dangling
young.
and everything. No. So he, and then just starts walking towards us, you know, and our buddy Pete, I think, is like an air marshal or something. He's in some sort of federal law enforcement. And I'm like, Pete, you got a gun? He's like, no. And he's wearing like the 1991 Delta Force vest when they're guarding like Schwarzkopf. We should post a picture of that so everybody can see. It's like, the fuck do you have in there? Fishing lures?
Yeah.
Why would you not have a gun?
He definitely dresses like a range safety officer.
Yeah.
sometimes.
You're like, you're a federal like agent that's issued a gun. Where the fuck is your gun? He's like, I don't have my gun, Kev. I'm sorry. Okay, well, there's 3 of us. We can take him. Hope he doesn't have like a rusty razor blade or something. It's going to be nasty. And so he's just walking towards us. And doesn't say shit. Walks around us, walks like up the little hill there on the sidewalk. And so I like Pete, but I'm going to call him a dumbass right now just for this. So no problem. Goes by us. We're not in any physical altercation. The police aren't called. No one's cut. No one's bitten. Like, nothing's happened. It's all fucking good. He's beyond us. It's all good in the hood. And then Pete's dumbass says, yo, where you going? Like, Pete, why the fuck would you say anything? Like, he's already showed us his, like, butthole.
Yeah.
He turns around. He says, heading north. And he just keeps walking. I'm like, all right.
That's perfect.
Whatever. So, literally 30 seconds later, he's coming down the sidewalk 60 miles an hour on a mountain bike with a backpack.
Down the hill.
Yeah. So he's on that sidewalk, you know, then it's a hill, and
Right.
we're right there at the bottom of the stairs. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to fucking die. And it's like, this is just so weird. And he's probably 30 feet from, you know, it's what, like a 6-foot little bank.
it's like a
that's fun.
ramp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Me and Aiden
like
skate it, and it's
yeah.
fun. And like 30 feet before he gets to it, he locks up the back brake, slides on the back tire all the way down the hill, and ends up stopping right next to us, feet on the pedals, balance, and looks at us, and we're like, what the hell? Like he's X Games. And he's like, heading south.